this is like the second time. And they still don't know, like, don't know the statutes, don't know the code of conducts. Where'd you guys get your policing?
Where did you get your police at?
You know, this is free information. The world of technology is a variety of different type of links
so
you can link into.
To your house, I have to investigate. You know, your neighbors called on you because they thought a
The neighbors
disturbance was going on.
The neighbors called isn't a liable reason for you to walk on private property.
You know how many times you've been to disturbances because neighbors called?
You don't have liable reasons to walk on someone's property. You know, in Texas, a man walked on someone's private property and shot into her window, right? That happened, right? And killed her, and he lost his job, right? You guys are on private property right now.
Again, your friend ID'd.
My friend, this person is off.
I could have already been out of here and said that y'all were just talking.
This guy is
instead,
obviously
that's not what happened.
One of my people that are staying here. What do you call those people?
I don't know what he's doing here. I don't care what he's doing here. I came to make sure there's not a disturbance going on. And instead of giving me your ID and cooperating.
You mind if I take a seat? That man walked into that lady backyard and shot her while she was playing with her son, man. And y'all back here on private property doing this shit again. Yeah. Do you have any two forms of identification, sir? Like a business card or anything? You don't have business cards? So you don't have any two forms of identification at all?
I do. I'm not required to give you two forms.
You're on my private property. You're required to give it to me because you work for the city.
I gave you my name and badge number. That's all you need. And it's on video, so I'm not.
Yeah, it's on video, definitely.
I know. That's why I'm not required to write it down either.
Y'all did this shit. This is the second time this has occurred. You know that? On private land.
What, that they've been caught out here?
No, it's just cops walking in people's private property. Like, is that your sergeant right there?
Like I said, if you'd have given me your ID, we could have already been out of here.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, sir?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I just feel a little bit easy being, I want to say, encountered by your peacekeepers on private property.
Okay.
They said they came in and called for a domestic occurrence, which never occurred. Obviously, your officer here walked here and saw that there was no domestic anything going on. Domestic means, you know, hand to hand and
No, actually it doesn't. Go ahead.
Well, anyways, she came on private land and told me that she's not going to leave until
Private land.
Private, yeah.
Where did she come in with private?
Walking in between
What's
here.
What's the definition of a public place, sir?
Public place is something that's owned by the government.
No, sir. Public place is any property that a substantial amount of the public has access to. That is the definition of a public place. So she's not on private property. Secondly, we did get a call for service out here for a disturbance. We didn't just show up for no reason. We got a call.
Understandable.
Now, whether it was a neighbor, whether it was somebody that was inside the house,
we
I
were
don't know.
having a conversation.
Okay. Was it a loud conversation?
Yes.
Okay. So it's standard reason that maybe a neighbor heard it and thought that there was a fight or something going on.
We were just exchanging ideas.
Is there a way to make a complaint?
Educating and entertaining one another.
Absolutely. You can make a complaint.
Do you have any paper forms on you about, you know, how your officers actually conducted their way of walking onto private land?
How do they conduct it?
Well, because a public easement, which is something which officers are allowed to walk on,
we're allowed to walk anywhere on a call for service.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So what does it say that on the code of conduct or anything?
What code of conduct?
Or any codes, any
Well, under CCP, if that's what you're referring to, which is Code of Criminal Procedure, which is in the law.
But there's not any criminal activity happening right here.
We have to make sure that there's not. We got to call for service, so
But
we're obligated to come and check.
Okay, it was just me and him talking. She
Okay.
came and asked us for ID.
So we have to come out here and check because we're obligated. We took an oath when we took office.
Yeah, I understand that.
So we have to, if somebody calls, we can't just say, well, we don't believe you. We're not going to come out.
But there's no, she doesn't have any reasonable suspicion that there's any criminal activity going on. So
Well,
therefore,
let me ask
you're
you
on
this.
private
Let
land.
me ask you this. If somebody called and said, hey, there's a disturbance over there.
I would knock on their door and ask, is everything going on?
Well, we don't always do that because we don't.
Yeah, because last time that happened, somebody got shot on their private property through a
did?
window.
Who did?
And an officer of Texas
Sir,
came and shot someone's
You're talking
mom
about
through a
Fort Worth, and
window.
secondly, that wasn't a disturbance. That was
He
actually
opened up their
that was
backyard
actually-
door
that was
and shot
actually-
her,
that was actually
dude.
a welfare concern is what that was. Is
But
what
he
you're referring
did
to.
it.
Okay, so that's not Allen. That's Fort Worth. That's not even the same situation.
It still happened. And it's happening now. You're on private land with no reasonable suspicion. There's no criminal activity
called
going
me
on.
out here.
I didn't call you. I called you because your officers are acting in misconduct right now.
No, sir, they're not.
They're against my rights right now. They just threw my
side are
rights
you
out the
referring to?
window. They threw
What
threw the
side are you
Constitution out
referring
the
to?
window right
Which
now.
amendment are you referring to?
Amendment. I'm talking about on private property, private
Which
land.
amendment are you talking to?
This is not an amendment. This is the right that was given to me.
What right?
The right. What do you mean the right?
What right?
You're taking my rights right now on private land.
No, I'm not. How am I taking away your rights?
Because there's no criminal
what about
activity
taking from you?
going on.
Huh?
So there's no reason to be identified.
I'm
If
not
there's no
identifying you.
but she just told me she's not going to leave until she identifies me.
Well, no, sir, we leave. As long as we've determined that there's no offense here and there's been
Right?
there's no
So
disturbance here,
can you guys get off my property,
then we're
man?
good. Okay. Do
Can
need
you guys get off
anything
my
else?
property? No. I was just
Okay.
we're
good to go.
Do you have a ID card and
I do not.
nothing?
My name is Corporal Bartlett. 4360 is my badge number.
And is there an address where I can actually make a
205
report?
West McDermott Drive. If you'd
Thank
like
you,
to make a
sir.
complaint, you can come up there and fill out a complaint.
I definitely will. You guys need to read them books more.